Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. I'm actually across the street from my hotel. I don't even know if you'll be able to hear me but that's the microphone. I'll do like this. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Oh, there we go. But I hope the microphone's not messed up. And that you can hear me. I gotta... I wonder if that work. I don't even know. Hold on a second. I had to disconnect the Bluetooth so that you can hear my voice and not through the Bluetooth. So I'm across the street from my hotel. I came to get something to eat. Look at my hands. They're like so swollen. And then I have this and that. Like okay? Yes, okay, I am. Thank you so much. Thank you. And they're just like tingling and stuff. That's why I had to go to the emergency room. And I couldn't go like, see how like red they are swollen? I couldn't like squeeze and grip and like all this stuff. But anywho, y'all, this rally, I don't even know where to begin. Like, two things. Look at that. Oh my God. Like I had like turmeric and aloe and this honey stuff. Like it's all, yeah. Look at that. That's that's 9 days. Well, I left my house on June 13th. This started June 16th, but we had stuff to do all the way to it. Like, it was so much. And to get to Iowa, I did a ride in the Father's Day ride, which should have only been 1,000 miles with how I routed it and the different things that you had to get for Father's Day. By the time I got there, I was like 1,300 miles in. I didn't even realize it, and Tef was like, "What are you doing? You should have went straight to Iowa. You should not have stopped anywhere to do anything. Like, what is your biggest fear?" And I was like, dying. He was like, "No, Baby Shark not making it." And I did have a fear about my bike breaking down because you get penalized like either half your points or 20% of your points. There's a whole bunch you get penalized for if your bike breaks down and you have to finish on something other than what you started on. But after a while, I wasn't even worried about Baby Shark. Baby Shark was the shit, Joe. Like, he was ready. He was ready from go. Like, he was like going. It was, Baby Shark was amazing. Me, on the other hand, like, and I prepped. I've been in the gym since last year. I even bought them balls that you go like this to in your hand and that gripper. That did not help. Like, by the time it came around to like day 8 and 9, my hands are still tingly. Like, I don't even know if you can see that. Like, calluses formed on like day 2 or 3. I even have calluses up here. Like, who gets a callus up there? It's crazy. Like, in all like, can you look at that? And I had gloves on, and like I said, my hands are just, even right now, like feeling them, they're just tingly. And like, you see the glove, and then this space, you can probably see it better on this hand. It was like my skin color, because it was covered by the sleeve, and then exposure, and then the glove bottom. Then this was really out, like, but it was so fun, y'all. Like, you don't even understand. It started off like day 1 was a disaster. When I left, look at that, keep trying to peek out. I don't even want to put my helmet back on. It's like You know what I feel like? I feel like Martin on that one episode where he got beat up, he had all them lumps and knots all over the place. Like, if I push this, I think like white cream and shit will come out like juices. I need a whole aloe plant to like fix that. So I'm just gonna go on and put that back away. Y'all. So day one, well, when I was on my ride to get there, I realized that I left my passport. I was like, son of a biscuit. So I called home and I had my passport overnighted. It was supposed to get there Monday at 8 a.m. Like, FedEx had tiers. It was like 8, 10, 12, and 5. No, 8, 10, 12, and 4. And each tier was a different amount of money. Like, so like the 8 o'clock was like $100 and something. And then there was the 10, 12, and 4. I knew on Monday we were leaving about 12ish, so I wanted the earliest time. So lo and behold, Monday comes, and well, first on Saturday or Sunday, we had to do our odometer test, so we did all of that stuff. Then we had a meeting at 5 a.m., breakfast at 6, 7 we were sent back to our rooms, 11 o'clock we had to be back outside to be ready to get in the line and everything else. So like, normally in rallies, and this is like the 3rd or 4th rally I've been in. Yeah. Normally we get our rally information like a week before or days before. Yes, everything's fine. Thank you so much. We get it like a week before. Not for this big dance. Literally, we got our book. Ooh, when I get back to the hotel, I'm going to do it again. You should see our rally book. Oh my God. It is so freaking fly. But we didn't get it till 5 o'clock on Monday. And literally, we were leaving at 12. So, and we had to we had our meeting at 5 and the books were passed out. So we got them like around 6ish, but that was breakfast too. By 7 we were like, they told us like, go route your stuff. So we kind of had like 4 to 5 hours to do it. But our books are suede and our names are embroidered in them. And it's such a nice book. But anyway, so we got that, and I'm routing. And as I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh shoot, because the hotels were adjoined. I never went back over to the main hotel to check on my passport. So I'm routing. I'm like, it's fine. But of course, my route, once I get to the East Coast, it takes me through Canada, and that's what alerted me about my passport again. I said, okay, when I get on the bike and go get back in line, I'll get it then, because we had to be back outside. Why, when I got over there, they say FedEx didn't come, there's no passport, and I'm like, I paid $100 and something for that passport to be here at 8 o'clock, and at this point in time, it's like 11. It's like 11:15 because we were supposed to be back outside at like 11 o'clock to get in line, get our auto read, and then take our places. And then we had a meeting at 11:40, and then we were taking off at 12. So I'm like, what do you mean my passport's not here? Blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to call back home. Like, they said it's not there. I'm giving them the tracking number. The lady on the phone was foreign, so she didn't really understand. It was a whole bunch of stuff. Like, so it was just bad. And I'm trying to listen to our riders meeting before we leave. So now my mind is just like all screwed because, again, my route, once I planned it, had me going through Canada at the end. And I did it over and over and over again. And never took me to the United States. And obviously, if I never had a passport, I would have had to go through the United States. But when you put your route in, it optimizes it. So obviously, going through Canada was supposed to be the optimum route. And that was towards the end. So you wanted a quicker result at the end because you wanted to be able to get back. So never did I ever really think about doing it over to try to stay in the United States. I was so frustrated. So frustrated with FedEx. And they were like, we don't know where your passport is. I said, not only did I give you the tracking number, I have a tracker on it. There was like an AirTag type thing. but under their brand that they had. And he was like, well, you have to log in for that and go to your account. I'm like, we don't have a FedEx account. Like, it was just an option and we chose it. So then I gave him that number. Do you know where my passport was? From Pittsburgh to Iowa. That's a straight line. My passport was in Memphis, Tennessee. So it left Pennsylvania and went to Memphis to come back up to Iowa. They said, oh, it's because Memphis is a hub and everything has to go through there if it's overnighted. I said, so what am I supposed to do now? I don't have a passport and I need to leave. Oh, it'll be there tomorrow, so you think I'm supposed to wait till tomorrow? So anyway, I was all frazzled. They were like, just leave, just leave. So everyone else left at 12. I didn't leave till like 3:30 from the hotel. So I'm already like 3.5 hours behind. I'm so frustrated, but I'm like, whatever. I'm trying to get it out my mind, but I perseverate on things like so bad. And I still need to know, when is my passport going to come? And like, what you want to do about all the money I paid for that? You know what I'm saying? So I'm riding, but now it feels good. The sun's out, it's beautiful. I have my coat open, and you know, we're just rolling, me and Baby Shark. Then it started to get really windy, and I had like a screen over my touch screen because when it rains, it always changes like the dials. So that screen was just blowing. I'm like, oh shoot, let me pull over and secure it because I had like Gorilla Tape. So I stopped under an underpass because when I tell you this wind was winding, it was like, I didn't just want to stop on the side of the highway and get blown over. So I went under an underpass. And I'm taping, you know, taping my screen down and Reef calls. So I'm talking to Reef. I'm like, yeah, I just got started. You know, my passport wasn't here. I'm blah, 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 talking. He was like, be careful because a storm is coming. Look at this. It just keeps creeping out. I keep trying to hide it from y'all so y'all don't have to see my grotesquity, but it keeps coming out. I'm going to try to do this one more again. So he's like, you know, be careful, blah, blah, blah. I see this beautiful out. But then I start smelling the rain, and I'm like, you're right. And I look over and the sky starts to change. Like, it was a beautiful blue and big fluffy clouds. It got gray fast. And I'm like, damn, what is going on? I say, not the start. And so I'm like taking pictures to send to him. And when I look over to the right, Twister. It was just spinning. I was like, oh, fudge. Like, damn. I'm like, Reef. I was like, it's a twister. A tornado's coming. I'm going to call you back. I gotta get out of here. And at that same time, as a car was stopping, like, in front of me. And I didn't want help. I didn't need help. I was only, like, taping down the thing. I needed to go. Because, you know, when people stop to help you, and you're like, I'm good, then they start asking all these questions. But what are you doing? Are you by yourself? Where are you going? Blah, blah, blah. And that's another 20 minutes. And I didn't want that. So I kept trying to say, go ahead. And plus, my helmet wasn't on the ground. Like, you know, those are the universal signs that people really need help. I don't even think I had my flashers on. I may have had my flashers on because I was under the thing. But if I'm telling you go and I have the thumbs up, you should just go. Lo and behold, they did not go. The van, was it like a minivan, stayed there. The person got out. And I'm like, great. But as we're getting closer, I'm looking like, I know this person. It was my homeboy from Detroit. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm like, damn, the rally just started. Am I delirious already? Like, how is this an apparition? But no, he was there for work. He's like, you know, a storm's about to come. I was like, if somebody say storm one more time, I'm going to snap out. I'm going to crash out. Is that the new word? I'm going to crash out if somebody say storm one more time. So I'm looking. I said, I know, I see it. He was like, well, I'm only down the road like a half hour or something like that. I said, the rally just started. I can't stop. I was like, I'm in bad weather all the time. I was like, I'm good. Man, I am so happy that he pulled out behind me. Because literally, as soon as I pulled out, it was like, meow. Like, it was so dark and so fast and so furious and was just blowing. Like, I couldn't even see the ground. Like, everything was gray. Like, I'm trying to, like, you know, like when you have your helmet on, it's raining, like, there are streaks. I'm trying to, like, peek through the streaks on the ground and find the white dotted line or the solid white line to the shoulder so that I can follow them. When I tell you, I couldn't, like, cars were pulled over, so I couldn't even follow anyone's brake lights to stay in the lane. When I tell you, it was bad, and I'm trying to like go, and then my bike's choking because it doesn't have the that little rain sock thing on there, because again, I only stopped to tape the damn display thing down and all hell broke loose. So I'm going, and I'm trying to like call him, like to say, get in front of me, because I can't see, and the phone's wet, the screen's wet, like I can't do anything. And I'm like riding, but I'm blind, and I'm like, I can't keep going on like this. Like, it was scary to me. Like, I've been in situations where I've not been able to see well, but I was able to determine where I was in the lane so I could still keep going. This, it was done. Like, my pin lock was fogging up. Nothing was working. So I literally, from like 70, 80 miles an hour, had to just slow down and just stop. And thank God he was behind me, because he stopped too. And there was a tractor trailer behind him that went around, and like when it blew past, it shook the bike. I was like, oh shit. And so now I'm like trying to wipe the mask off, and I see that I'm like maybe 2 feet from the shoulder. So I'm like walking the bike over there to get on the shoulder, and I'm breathing hard and my chest is thumping. I'm like, oh my God. Like, if he wouldn't have been behind me, like the tractor trailer would have just took, I don't even think the tractor trailer would have got me, for real, for real. So now I'm on the shoulder. I'm like, I'm gonna have to follow you. Like, I gotta get out of this. Like, I gotta follow you. I gotta regroup, whatever. He's like, okay, follow me. So then he goes, and I'm behind him. Why is he driving like 35, 40 miles an hour? And I'm like, oh my God. Like, we are creeping, and again, I don't have the sock thing on, so the bike's like, it's like choking. Like, I need to really roll the throttle and go, and I can't, because I'm following him, because I can't see, and he's going to slow as hell. So now I'm trying to call him again. Hey Siri, call, and it's not working. Siri was an asshole that day. She did not call. So now I'm trying to flash the lights, like, please go faster. Like, this is too slow. Like, this isn't any better than the other way. Then another bike came, because it did kind of slow down, and he zipped past, and he got off the exit because it was like that bad. So then Smoke was like, oh, okay. I'm like, please go fast. And then he started going fast. Then we rode out of it. I was like, oh my God. So when we got to stop, I called the rally master, like, listen, this storm, I'm looking at it. I just got out of a cell, but I'm right in the middle of the eye of it. Can I take a rest? Or she was like, rest doesn't start till later, and there is no meal break today because it's the first day. I'm like, shit, what am I going to do? So then I call Reef, and Reef and them are probably like 5-6 hours ahead of me, because I didn't leave till later. And he's like, it's starting to rain here now. He's like, it's actually thundering and lightning, and I'm about to stop. When I tell you that lightning is no joke, it comes down and be like, boom, boom, cha, 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 cha. And if Reef stopping, then you know it was crazy. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, okay. I said, I'm still trying to make my way over there. And he looked, he's like, Piper, you're in the eye of it. You need to sit tight for a minute. And I'm like, but I'm losing time. He was like, better lose time in your life. He was like, just wait it out for a second. So I'm like, okay. I'm watching. I'm still over the cell. And I'm like, and then he said that he went, instead of the route that the GPS was taking, he crossed over and went 20 and went over. He still got in the storm, but he wasn't in that thick part of it. So now I'm trying to look at that same route, but that it's hovering over 20, what was up, the 20 to 22, then I was supposed to take 80 over. It was all messed up. So I'm like, okay, there's really nothing I can do. So I sit tight, I go over my route again, I reroute it, I'm good. The next day, I go to catch up with them. Rachel had to get a tire, somebody else had to get some other stuff, but they're, moving and they're making their way. Why was it a continuance of the storm? And who got it? This girl. I was like, oh my God, like, this is only the beginning. And I had my little tent. Shout out to Lucas for going over to Shelly's, I think it was called, with me to help me pick out the tent, because I have tents and I just didn't bring it with me. So I had to get another one. So he was like really instrumental in me getting that. So thank goodness for that. Because because we were there for like 11 days. I was like, I'm not going to get a hotel room every day for 11 days. Like I wanted to, feel the adventure. That first day in South Dakota, it was 48 degrees. I was like, I'm not sleeping outside in 48 degrees. Like, that's freezing. That's like, there's no way. There's no way in all of God's get out that I'm sleeping. No. And so South Dakota, that first, that one was that Beartooth Pass? Whatever it was cold, and I wasn't doing it. So and we were in parks the whole time. So when I tell you my hands were numb and tingling, spaghetti. So like spaghetti looks like this. So spaghetti in a box, not cooked, is just straight like this. So 1,000 miles of this for 11 days is fine. You can get from here to there in a straight point 1,000 miles probably in like 14 hours. When you cook the spaghetti, and it looks like it looks like this, and you're like in and out and over and looping and a hair point turn and 45 miles an hour, and so this to this, you can do this 1,000 miles quick. This 1,000 miles is going to take you all day. Matter of fact, this was only like 200 miles and it took 6 hours. 6.5 hours I was in Yosemite, Yellowstone, Lolo Pass, Beartooth Pass. I can't. So my glasses, I have the Ray-Bans. All the videos are in there. I can't wait to get them all out so you can really see how hairpin, like a turn would come like this, like a total U, but on an upgrade. Like it would tell you can only go so many miles an hour to get, and they were like 360 times 15. Like this, the one time I was spiraling about 6 times. I swear to goodness, I was like, oh my goodness. And then there's cliffs. There's no guardrail. It's just you looking over the cliff and seeing the rest of the turns. Like the Ford commercials or the Dodge commercials, and it's the land and you see that beautiful windy road. It's so beautiful on the commercial, but when you're on it for 6 hours, it's so beautiful, but it ain't the same. It's really not. There was a big bison on the road and it kicked back at other bikers. I thought he was going to get me too. Yo, it was so much, and it was so amazing. I can't wait to do it again, like honestly, and just be more mentally in it. Because at a point where, like once I got like through Dallas, I had a storm again in Texas. So I had storms in Iowa, Oregon. California wasn't really a storm, but that's another crazy story I gotta tell you about that. I almost called the police for myself because I needed help that bad. Utah, Dallas, and the Carolinas. When I tell you those storms were crazy, I was like, what is God trying to do? To the point that it took my Cena. I mean, I don't have a Cena now. I have a Cardo. It shorted that microphone. My phones weren't even working. Like, everybody was calling. I was like, this number's not in service. It's disconnected. And obviously they weren't, because I still had them. I could call out. Nobody could call into me. My tracker wasn't on. Like, Paul was like, your tracker ended literally the day it started. But Nancy did see it on Monday. But from there, it was, my Zolio didn't work. My backup trackers had stuff, but they weren't connected. I'm gonna post my spot wallet. The whole first few days was nothing. So people couldn't get a hold of me, and they were like, just like worried, but I was okay. And then the heat made my eyelid so heavy that at one point in time I was riding with cruise control, holding my eyelid open. But I still couldn't see anything. I couldn't focus because it wasn't open on its own. You know what I'm saying? And like, y'all know I ride. And not to say like I'm the best rider, but I ride, y'all. Like, I'm out there like all the time in inclement weather, different terrain, different, like, this is different. There's a reason that it is the world's toughest rally. It really is. Like, we had to keep this on the whole. I still have it on because I'm not home yet. So if something happens to me, they gonna call Paul and he gonna get the red book out. But we had to keep these on. We couldn't even take them off. Like, we weren't supposed to like take them off at all. And it was, you know, for safety reasons. Like, you know what I mean? And again, the miles weren't the problem. Like, riding the miles, really, for anyone, I don't believe is ever a problem. It's the type of miles and the terrain. Because again, 1,000 straight miles, straight highway miles, you could do that all day. Like on Wednesday when I had to stop and I knew my window was closing, I rode 1,100 miles in 12 hours because I was on a super slab. I left Dallas, so I was on the 20. I went from the 20 to the 75 to the 10 to 95 or 85. Like, it was all highway. When I say I was gone. I was gone. I was gone. Like, we got a penalty if you sped too much. But at this point in time, I was just trying to make up time. But the other roads, like the 422 and the 23 and like all of those, the speed limit was like 45, 35 because it had dangerous hairpin turns and spiral. Y'all, look like my salad. It looked like my salad. Like, I can't wait till I can upload from the glasses. Literally, I can't watch. Look at this. Literally, the road was so tight and so bent over. You see, my boots were scraping. That's how low the bike was. Like, my boots, my pegs, scraping. Both of them. Like, both of them. Lean to the right, scrape. Lean to the left, scrape. Like, when I tell you, if you haven't been to a national forest yet, you got to go. Lolo Pass, bomb. Yellowstone is where Old Faithful is. Doubly super bomb. I've been to Yellowstone, Beartooth, and Yosemite. I did not go in, but I had gone to it. But I went in it this time. I was in there for 6.5 hours. I got there at like 1 in the morning, like 1:30 in the morning, and it was dark. It was dark, but I had to do it, so you couldn't skip it. By the time I got to the point where the checkpoint was, it was like 4:45, like almost 5 o'clock. And everybody and their mother was there. There were people out there with like lawn chairs. There was a bus there. It was tourists because everybody was there to see the sunrise over this canyon. And when I tell you, God has made the most beautiful world and place, man, he was showing off. He was showing off at this particular part of this park where this canyon cave was. And whoever scouted that out and selected that location either been there before or really did their homework, because it was absolutely gorgeous. It just took forever to get there, and even leaving there, it's not straight. You're curving. You're again, the spirals, and you're looking I can't. I don't even know how to express. y'all being able to see it from my glasses, because I'm behind the handlebar, so you can see it as if you were riding. And when I look over, and all you see is rocks and dirt and gravel and the side and the road down below that you just came from, that if you go over, that's where you're going back to. But it was still amazing. So then you get out of that, and then we had to go to California. And then, like, when I was going to call the police on myself, I guess the heat was so excruciating. But I love the heat because I'm anemic. Like, so having all this stuff on and being hot is not a problem for me. I wasn't tired. I wasn't lethargic. I may have been, now hindsight, a little dehydrated, but I had my electrolytes. I had my water. I had my liquid IV. I had mustard. I had pickles. I had all of those things. But when I was riding from California to get to Utah, because we had a mandatory stop that day, that was Sunday, we had to be in by 8 o'clock. I'm telling you, my miles on my GPS just kept saying like 90, 90, 90. I'm like, damn, I'm riding and it's not going down. Then it went down a little bit, but I was like so delirious. And the wind, that wind tunnel was like, and it was like blowing me at first, but then the heat and the blowing was like rocking me to sleep. And I just kept closing my eyes. Then I would open them like, oh shit. And I would ride, you know? And then I would close my eyes again. And I was like, and then now I'm screaming at the top of my lungs like, wake up, wake up. But I wasn't sleepy. I wasn't tired. It was just something. And I'm screaming like, get up, get up, get up, get up. I'm shaking myself on the bike, but I'm still just, you know, then I would gun it 90, 100, try to get far. And I'm thinking, yes, can I have a box, please? Okay. No, that's okay. And I would gun it. Then I would look at my thing, and it would literally say, it went from like 90 to like 82, but I swear I was going like 100 miles an hour for like 10 minutes. Time was standing still. It was the most bizarre thing. And I keep swaying. I'm on the burb strips on both sides, tractor trailers and everything. And I'm so mad at the other people I'm on the road with, because I'm like, why are they letting me ride like this? Like, if I saw an erratic or a motorcycle riding erratically, I would either try to stop it or like call for help or something, and nobody was doing anything. But then in hindsight, I thought about it like, oh, it's really windy, so maybe they're used to seeing like motorcycles like sway like that. But anyway, I looked over yonder and saw the police, and I was on the phone with my friend. I was like, I gotta call you back. I gotta call the police. He was like, call the police. I said, yes, I need help. They need to come get me. Like, they need to stop me, like, because there was no shoulder for me to pull over on. But then I was like, I have until 8 o'clock. Not 8:01, not 8 o'clock and 15 seconds to stop my clock, or else I was going to disqualify. And I just snapped, like, got it together. I'm like pulling. I pulled into that parking lot of that hotel at 7:58, and I hit that button so fast. So that was the second leg that we had to get in. And so our downtime was from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. My alarm went off at 3:30. And I hit snooze on that mother effer. I was like, I'm not. Like, that was the second near-death experience for me. And I was just like, oh my God. And honestly, at that point, I really should have reevaluated things, but it was only Sunday. Like, we were only 7 days in. I'm like, that's whatever. Like, I got this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get up. And I had to work that day too, so I was like doing some work. I had to do like billing and like payroll and some other stuff, so I did that. Still got on the road by like 5:30, and I was going, that's when it was California to Utah. So I stopped in like right outside of Needles is where I got to. So I got from like, you know, like SoCal all the way to Needles. So from Needles I was supposed to get to Colorado, definitely Utah and then Colorado. But because I didn't leave at 4 and it was like an hour and a half difference, and then like riding, and then it was like sweltering. Oh, that's when I ran into some chosen few, and I rode a few miles with them. They had me energized, and I was like, yeah, let's get it, because I was just like by myself all the time. So I was just like, it was like so like, and I was like listening to music, and I would talk a little bit, but it was like really like, I was just like, oh my God, this is what the rest of the days are going to be like. But when they came, like, it was really cool. And, like, you know, we were, like, leapfrogging and all that stuff. And thank goodness because they saved me because they saw a pooper trooper. But I didn't see it, so they slowed us down. But then they got off, like, shortly after that. They were going to, like, Colorado Springs. So that was cool. And then so I made it to Utah to Forrest Gump. And again, that night we had, so it was like the first leg was 4 days. So Thursday night we had the mandatory stop at 8 p.m. Sunday night we had the mandatory stop at 8 p.m. So Sunday is when I was in Utah trying to get to Colorado. That's when I turned that corner. And it was like in 7 miles, it was like 7:55. I was like, oh God, I'm never going to make it. Y'all, I had to pitch my tent outside it was like Mesa Red Rock or something like that. And I was like, I don't know where I was. I was like, the bears are going to get me because I saw them and the cows. So I slept, I put my tent up, I slept in my helmet so they didn't like maul my face. And I did have food. And I was like, oh, let me put this food in my saddlebag and lock it because I didn't want them like roaming around like trying to get me. Then there was a dog that was loud as hell. I'm like, oh my God, I hope this dog doesn't bark all night long because I need rest. Because it was like from 8 to 4. I set my alarm for 3:15 so I'd be able to break down my tent and be sitting on that bike at 3:59. So when 4 o'clock came, I was taking the hell off. I was so scared, y'all. I was scared of people, of humans, and animals. Because I'm like, I'm in the middle of nowhere with a tent and a motorcycle. And it was so crazy. Like, my tent had a window. Like I could unzip from the top. So, like, I could hear the cars going past. But for about 40 minutes, a car was just sitting idle, like, at the corner of, like, the area I was in. I was like, oh my God, like, are they going to try to come over here? And I didn't want to like unzip the tent and come out to show that I was a woman. So I'm like trying to like peep out the little zipper part to see if I can see. And it was a white Eldorado. And I stayed at that spot too because it was like a native like water plant or something like that. And it said, and they had like a fence, like the stuff on the inside, like had work trucks and stuff that was fenced in. But the sign said, area under 24-hour surveillance. And I was like, well, I'm pitching my tent right here, so if something happened to me, they can run the tape back at least. You know what I mean? I had no reception. I had like bars, but T-Mobile had like a off-brand like satellite thing, so I was able to like iPhone message. So like my girlfriend was like, do you feel safe? And I was like, well, she's like, I don't care about the rules or none of that. She's like, you need to leave. Just leave. I was like, I can't just leave. Somebody else might be in the same situation. Like, I'm not privileged not to do it. I was like, I gotta stay here. And she was like, well, I don't like it. And like, she was like really not talking me out of it, but I was like, I can't keep talking to her because she might make me do something I'm gonna regret, and I'll be like really sad if I end this knowing what I'm into and what I got myself into. So I was like, I'll just check tomorrow. And then like one of the other riders was like trying to check on me. I tried to call her because I thought like FaceTime audio would work. It didn't. And so we were texting back and forth. I was like, I'm just gonna close my eyes and I'll check up on everything tomorrow. Man. And I sprayed the tent with like my deep woods off and like all that stuff to keep the bugs away. And I did have a light in there, but I didn't want the light on because I didn't want people to keep like coming over there. Man, that was almost some of the best sleep I had. And it was a whole gravel lot. Y'all know I hate gravel. So trying to get in there and trying to get the bike in there and not dropping the bike because nobody could help me with it. And then setting up that tent. I made a video doing that, so I'm going to put that on my YouTube page too. But it was good, right? Safety over ego. I couldn't keep riding. Like I had to stop. Like there was like nothing I could do. Like I wanted to keep going, but I couldn't. Like I had to stop. So I pitched the tent. It was good. I had my tire pressure monitor, and it was also like a tire inflator, like gauge, and it was a charger. So I plugged both my phones in, so because I didn't want to take them off the directions because there was no signal. And I did that twice. I did that at Beartooth Pass and I did that at Yellowstone, and I had to ask people there for their hotspot in order to get back on because I had downloaded offline maps, but it wasn't working. When I tell you my phones were like screwed up the like whole time and people couldn't get me, and it was just bad. it was like bad. So I didn't want to take it off the maps and then not have a signal, and then they wouldn't load again. So I plugged everything in, and it was all good. And I slept really well. Like, my body woke up before my alarm even went off. So I was just in there trying to find like another position to go back to sleep, but I really wasn't like sleepy. So I got up, I broke my tent back down, packed it all, got it in there, and peering them off. And I tell you, it was like doing good. And like, I'm talking to Reef, and he had been to the places before me, so he's able to give me like a couple pointers, and I'm like trying to like catch them. But again, I'm like a whole like day and a half behind them because of my freaking passport and the tornadoes and the storms or whatever. But I'm still like, you know, doing my thing. Shout out to everybody who like helped along the way. I got to stay at like people's houses, like who were like close along my path, that when my reception was good and they got through, and I'm like, I'm here, and I can send them my location. They're like, oh, I'm right off the tent, or I'm right off to this. So that was really good. I got to wash my clothes. I got fruit. I got vitamins and like ibuprofen. I mean, it was just, everybody was like just top tier stellar. So I'm truly grateful and appreciative of that. Like, thanks for all like the texts and like the cash apps and everything that you guys sent on the road. Like, excuse me, just thinking about how great the village really was. It's so amazing because like riding with someone and riding by yourself are two different things. So like the loneliness that sets in, and like even talking to people on the phone was so nice, because taking the time to do that, like, it's hard to hear in these helmets sometimes, and hearing like the speaker, and like you hear like air or like this wind, it's hard to make out what somebody's saying. And so for people to take the time to really still try to keep you company and make sure you're okay. I can pay you at the card. Yep, I'm here. No, you're fine. And then look at the cool coat. Like, everything is just in there. Like, bam. I mean, it was just like, everybody was just bomb. I like love all you guys. Like, it's so, again, it's truly amazing. Like, and even, y'all know me, I'm so stubborn. Like, when I set my mind like to do something, I want to make sure that I do it and I get it done. But I really had to evaluate the whole thing, especially like I had like a 2.5 hour window once I got to South Carolina. And then that's when the thunderstorm came, and it was like lightning. Like, again, even cars were like just stopping on the road. Like, nobody was like moving. No one was driving. I couldn't see like anything. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I couldn't see like anything. And so I had to make the tough decision. Like, do I keep trying to like fight through this and keep going? Like, and then if something happens to me, what about Xavier? You know what I mean? Like, he lost his brother in 21. He lost his father in 22. Now he's supposed to lose his mother in 25 because I was trying to complete a ride that I can just wait to do again in 27. And I wanted it so bad, y'all. Like, and it was so like not easy to do. It definitely was not easy by any means. Like, because again, the roads were not highway. It wasn't super slab. It was not. It was national forest that, you know, people go on vacation. People take a week to ride through Yellowstone to see everything. People take a week to go through Yosemite or Lolo Pass or through like Montana and Washington. Like, literally, we had 11 days to do 10,000 spaghetti miles, cooked spaghetti. So like folds over each other, like back and forth, up and down, ups, downs, arounds, everything, like my braids, like in and out. It was not straight, super slab, like, you know what I mean? So big congratulations to everyone who was like steadfast and disciplined, and their route was right, and they did everything the way it was supposed to go, and they achieved this stupendous accomplishment. Like, this is not the world's hardest rally for no reason. You know, everybody who was successful in it deserves that success. They deserve that prestigious honor, because it was not easy by any means, like, for real. And I told myself, I was like, I'm one and done. I'm not doing this again. But y'all know I'm doing it again, right? Because I know, like, where my mistakes were. Like, I was so hell-bent on that damn passport and going to Canada because it was the optimum route. I could have very easily just went through Maine. Like, literally, the last part of the rally I had just done in July. Me and Clear went up to the Upper Peninsula and across the Mackinac Bridge, and I did that in the States. I left Pennsylvania, went up to New York, followed it down through Ohio, up and over and back down through Detroit. That's what the route was. Why was I tripping on going to Canada? I don't know. But things happen for a reason, you know what I mean? So at first I was like really sad. I was disheartened. I was like, oh my God, I didn't get it. Like, all this other stuff. And it's so easy to share a victory. It really, really is. It's hard to talk about defeat. It's hard to talk about not accomplishing your goal. You know what I mean? But I don't feel defeated anymore. I'm sad that, you know what I mean, like, I didn't get it on like the first try, but there were veterans who didn't get it, who done this rally 4 and 5, 6 times and didn't make it. A fellow participant lost his life. Someone died on this rally in 2025. He lost his life the second day. You understand that? He came for a goal, and he didn't make his goal. Not only did he not make his goal, he's not going home. He's not going to make it home. I didn't want that to be my story too. You know what I mean? And I can't even imagine how the rally masters feel. Like, you know, because again, we had to wear this. Like, we had to wear this ID badge. So when they found, you know, that man's body after the accident, and they had to call the rally master to report their findings, and he had to call the family. I've been in a situation where I've been in an accident and I had to make a phone call to people's family, and it's not a good feeling. It is, and we all survived that. It's not a good feeling to call, to have to tell someone your loved one didn't make it, or is not going to make it, or so. And I didn't want him to have to make that call for me to my family. So I just, you know, I talked to him. I said, I have this much time. I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to sit here for a second, try to gather my thoughts. If I can make it, I will. If not, I'll send another message to let you know that this is where it has to stop for me. And he even put in the newsletters, like, a lot of people had to make that call. And it's not an easy call to make, because you prep, and your time and your money and your energy and everything to have to say, like, anywho, if you have the opportunity to ride it and qualify for it, you owe yourself, oh, I'm just peeling, oh my God, you owe yourself the opportunity to try it. It's definitely achievable because people have, but you have to be diligent, and you have to exercise safety and precautions and just do it the right way. I'm excited about still being here to talk about it. And there's so much more I have to talk about. So many more pictures I want to share. So much more to it, in hopes that it encourages somebody else to try it and to do it, because I'm definitely going again. But I love you guys. This place is closed. They're like, girl, get out. So I'm packing my stuff up. I'll call y'all back at the hotel so y'all can see what was in my bag. I literally ate squeezable peanut butter every day, all while I was out there, because I couldn't. I'll talk to y'all about it. I'll see y'all soon. Is my heart working? Is it working? Did it come back on? It's not working. But give me like 20 minutes. Like, I'm literally right across the street from it. So I'll see y'all and talk to y'all again real soon. Bye. Love you. Love you.